Tough loss for the Denver Broncos today versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe even a tougher loss right at the very end of the game as we saw Pat Bryant go down. But we're going to have a post-game podcast nonetheless, man. Talk about this team, talk about their performance on the field, talk about what they need to do to take the lessons learned today and make sure they don't repeat themselves going forward. Let's get into a fantastic post-game podcast right about now. Well, Broncos country, not the performance we were hoping for, as the Denver Broncos were on quite the roll and knocking off opponents, especially at home, left and right, but not today, man. Jacksonville Jaguars came in, they came to play, and Denver Broncos walk away with a loss, something that they're not used to. My name is Keith Brugman. This is the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor named Morgan Trinkets. I got my good friend over here, Kenny Kirkpatrick, coming in with maybe a little bit of levity, a guy that hasn't been feeling the highs of winning as much as we have, being a Giants fan, but covering these Broncos nonetheless. Kenny, it was a tough loss for the Denver Broncos and just a tough game to watch overall, as nothing really seemed to be clicking for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, it seemed off. But first and foremost, Keith, I know you'd want to do this too. Let's send our thoughts and prayers to Pat Bryant. And, let's hope it's precautionary. But, unfortunately, these injuries happen. And it does look like could be a serious injury. So I want Pat Bryant to know. I want our posse to send him thoughts and prayers. And you as well, Keith, here at the Denver Bronco Roundup. We love you, Pat. We know you'll be back stronger than ever, and can't wait to see you back on the field again. So let's hope it's sooner than later, and let's hope for a speedy recovery from you, young man, and look forward to your Bronco career, because you were coming on this year as a nice surprise for us.
Yes.
So thoughts and prayers to you, Pat, and if you watch this podcast, we're behind you.
Even if you don't, man, our thoughts are out there. They're in the universe. We're pulling for Pat Bryant, man. It was tough to see a guy go down in the final minute of a game. And like you said, hopefully it's all precautionary, but bringing out the cart, strapping him in, just our thoughts are with him. Our prayers are with him. We want the very best for Pat Bryant. Dan is coming in over on Facebook. One word sometimes says it all, Dan. Ugh, with plenty of H's behind it. Absolutely, Dan. That was a tough one to watch. Adam and Kayla putting that 24-hour rule, speeding it up, putting a little fast forward. It says, let's go Broncos country. Good evening, family, and let's put this one behind us. What did I say? Get smacked
tonight by Ravens. Hope the Patriots get smacked tonight. It's probably
hope the Pats that's what it was. Hope the Pats get smacked by the Ravens. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. A lot of Raven fans tonight. Let's go.
A lot of Raven fans, man. But yeah, at some point we will have to put this one behind us. I do believe there's some big lessons to be learned though from this game, and maybe it came at the right time. Ernie May is coming in saying, "Go Broncos country only." Hello, Keith and Kenny, and go Bo Nix. Good to see you, Ernie Mays. Missed you in the pregame, my friend. It seems like it's been a while since I've seen you. Good to have the posse all rounded up, including Mr. Michael Ronquillo saying Sean Payton.
Everybody's friend.
Everybody's friend. Everybody's friend. Sean Payton doing a flea flicker was a bad call. Didn't like the flea flicker call at all. Dan's first complaint is the NFL's gifting a TD to the Jags. So a little extra Christmas present maybe for the Jacksonville Jaguars, according to Dan. And absolutely, Martin, I really have been trying to get us all on schedule. I know that you asked for it. I'm glad that you're here with us this evening. Maybe hit that notification button. But right now, he's notifying all of us to send your prayers up for Pat Bryant, and we appreciate that, Martin. We started off the show that way, or at least Kenny did as well. Second, Alex Singleton always getting exposed. It's funny you're picking on Alex Singleton. I don't know if I would have picked on him first and foremost. I'll have my guys I maybe want to pick on in this game, but hey, yeah, it was a tough game all the way around. What are your thoughts though on the officiating in this game? Seemed like it did take a little bit of a toll in this game. I'm not going to say it gave the game to the Jaguars one way or the other. I think it was not the best called game. What were your thoughts on the officiating in this game?
Not the best called game, but I saw a stat earlier. These are the two most penalized teams in the league, so I expected nothing but wasn't going to expect a clean called game. There's a lot of penalties called, and until the NFL fixes this, sometimes like on pass interference calls that downfield, and you can overturn them by the replay assist upstairs. We're not going to fix this. That the officiating is going to be what it is. It's all around the league, and sometimes it hurts you, sometimes it helps you. So as it hurt the Broncos, it helped the Jaguars, and then vice versa. In other games, I've seen bad officiating too. So, I can't keep crying over that spilled milk. It's going to happen. And that I don't think that's the reason why the Broncos lost today.
Another reason I don't think the Denver Broncos lost today, I really liked what RJ Harvey was doing out there today, man. Obviously, he had a big run in the second half for the touchdown, but in general, RJ Harvey, when he got his touches, was making the most of it, getting north and south, breaking tackles, spinning out of tackles. I mean, he was out there wheeling and dealing today as a running back, not just as a receiver, which we've kind of seen him utilized by Sean Payton in this offense already.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have something for you, Keith.
Yes,
we
sir.
did the pregame show, and we talked about some of the stuff with the offense and defense of the Jaguars. The defense is the reason I think the Broncos lost today, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's some of the things I wrote down, and we got checks for. The Jaguars had an elite run defense, the best in the league. You alluded they had the best run defense in the league today. RJ Harvey, nice 39-yard run, touchdown run, and ran pretty good against them. Check. We beat that. Also on offense, we exploited the weak pass defense. The deep throws to Cortland Sutton, the touchdown, the one to Troy Franklin. We exploited them. I'd say check. And also, where the X was that they did create turnovers. We said they were going to be aggressive, and they did create turnovers. So that one's an X. But those other two checks, here's the problem. The defense. T-Law was making great decisions all year, in my opinion. Made great decisions today. Hitting receivers downfield. We saw him hit receivers downfield. Missed tackles galore today on the missed tackles downfield. 7 straight games over 25 points. We'll make that 8. And we said if they score under 25, the Broncos are going to win this game. They scored way more than 25 once again, 34. And an asterisk, strong O-line and run game. We exploited that offensive line early, but Travis Etienne did what he needed. So a lot of X's on the defense. They let us down today. And I'm calling them out for the first time this year, Keith, because I've been high on them, calling them maybe a poor man's 85 Bears. Nick Bonito was non-existent today. I didn't see Jonathan Cooper much neither. I didn't see Zach Allen much. I saw John Franklin Myers getting a couple sacks, Malcolm Roach. I saw Riley Moss getting torched. So the only guys I saw that did good were the ones you didn't hear. PS2. Greenlaw, Singleton getting burned, and he's a great story. great that you're beating cancer, but Alex, you're getting burned, and I see it all the time. And they got to do something at the linebacker. Drew Sanders maybe can be the saving grace because Stranad's hurt, and it's just a weak spot on the defense, and they're getting exploited. And PJ Locke, hurry back Brandon Jones, because PJ Locke didn't look too good neither. I'm calling this defense out. Vance, straighten it up. You got a Christmas gift coming with the Kansas City Chiefs. So get it fixed this week, because then you got a tough one in week 18, and it's going to be tough. The Chargers are coming.
The Chargers are coming. You're absolutely right, man. Defense should be called out. You mentioned Dre Greenlaw. The downside is Dre Greenlaw was ruled out for the rest of this game, so we have to now worry about his injury status as well. Keep that in mind as you watch throughout the week, and hopefully that's nothing big that we have to be concerned about, because like you said, Alex Singleton, yeah, I thought he could have had a better game, but it was Riley Moss. Riley Moss was, I mean, great that he made a couple of good plays, but the bad ones, the missed tackles, guy missed 2 missed tackles on the edge that end up getting probably an average of 35 yards extra between the 2 plays. After the catch, 2 plays, about 70 yards. I mean, those 2 plays were, again, field changers, game changers, momentum changers, and you got to be able to wrap up. I know that the Jaguars had trouble wrapping up. Loved to see that, but the Broncos were kind of competing for that title of a team with the worst tackling technique on the field today in this matchup. They could have done a lot better, Kenny. Now, I will say another check. I would say I told him, I said they had to battle up Travis Etienne. I thought they did a pretty good job on Etienne as well, but it wasn't enough because Trevor Lawrence was torching him today, man. He was all over the place with the ball. Like we said, not going to single out one single target. He was throwing to his tight ends. He was throwing to his second and third wide receivers. He was finding ways to get the ball down the field, even if it took his legs, and diving head first. Trevor Lawrence looked on schedule and out there ready to play, where Bo Nix did not. Bo Nix struggled today. Outside of a couple of maybe early drives, it kind of fell apart for Bo Nix in this offense. He did not look comfortable. He did not look in command of this offense, and I don't think he frightened the Jacksonville Jaguars defense all that much, especially as the game went on.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about this Jacksonville defense. It was a top 10 defense and an aggressive defense, and hats off to them. They came in and could have laid down after that first early lead by the Broncos. They could have laid down, but they didn't, and they came to play in their aggressive style, take chances. It's been that way all year, and they did. And Trevor Lawrence is playing finally after how many years in the NFL? Right now in this stretch, he's playing like that number 1 pick he was supposed to be when he came out of Clemson a few years ago. And we're seeing that level of play. And, sometimes it's the little things that the coaches changed. They showed that he's playing with his other foot up front now, where last year he was playing the other side. And it's those little things that change. But, Bo Nix, I'm not putting this on Bo Nix. Troy Franklin was pretty much non-existent. And Evan Ingram, can we step up? I mean, seriously, you're playing your old team. You made, one nice catch in this game? Where were you the rest of the game? You're telling me you can't get open on a weak secondary? Come on. You're playing your old team. Step up. Step up. You were brought in here to be the guy, to be the joker. I don't want to hear that word anymore this year, even if he has a 100-yard game. I don't want to hear it. Be a tight end. Make 3 or 4 plays a game, and when they're in the red zone, be a red zone target. Enough with this joker role. I don't want to hear that anymore. That's over. 2 games left, and then the playoffs. Step up. Step up, because maybe that's the reason the Giants got rid of you a few years ago. Step up.
Yeah, Kenny has some firsthand experience with Evan Ingram, so Yeah, I mean, brought in, was supposed to be this big key piece. Even the big play that he had, I thought that he had more opportunity to get more yards, turned up field, not just run out of bounds. I don't know of a tight end that is as big as Evan Ingram that just runs out of bounds. No contact, nothing. Fight for some yards. Right now, you're in the thick of it, and you're absolutely right. Seen I've seen many players try to turn that back up inside and see if they can, juke a tackler and possibly get him going the wrong direction. And next thing you know, you're going to the middle of the field in the end zone. So Evan Ingram, yeah, he didn't have his best game. I'll even throw Garrett Bowles out there. Garrett Bowles was having penalties left and right today, let alone it's not like Bro Nick stood in the most perfect pocket. I'll have to go back and see what he was doing as far as his blocking technique was concerned. But a couple of false start penalties, something that we haven't necessarily picked on Garrett Bowles on for in a long, long time, Kenny. And now he's out there, and it's just one of those games where you start seeing stuff like that as well, and you're just like, ooh, this doesn't feel like we're going in the right direction, and it doesn't feel like we're in rhythm, and it doesn't feel like we're ever starting to click. It was a tough battle just to get what we got and the 20 points that we put on the board. It felt today.
I'm not gonna, and don't want anybody thinking I'm coming after Ben Powers, because I'm not. This is not about Ben Powers' first game back in what, 8-9 weeks.
Yep.
Broncos had that win streak with Alex Polcheski, in the lineup. Bowles is playing next to Palczewski for how many weeks now? And then now Ben Powers is in. Sometimes it takes a little time. I expect better things on Thursday from the offensive line. I know a lot of people were saying the offensive line was not good today. I'm expecting it to be a complete turnaround on Thursday. Ben Powers, when you come back from an injury, sometimes it takes you a game, maybe two. Let's hope it was just one game for Ben Powers and that offensive line to gel as a whole. And I'm not saying Ben Powers had a bad game, but sometimes one player new on that line messes up your rhythm. So Let's see what happens on Thursday, but I'm expecting Garrett Bowles and the rest of the offensive line, including Ben Powers, to be a complete turnaround on Thursday on short week.
Michael says Trevor Lawrence has a head coach that fits him, and it's starting to show. It's that offense is clicking in a way that it hasn't in the NFL for Trevor Lawrence. And we got a new friend, I believe, W. Clyde, coming in here saying we should see Elijah Moore on Thursday night. Talking about Thursday night, Kenny. So kind of looking ahead to that one.
And also, I agree with that, but I also look and see who's on who's out there, because now's the time to go get a veteran that has been in the league. If Pat Bryant's injury is as bad as it looks, get a veteran like the Steelers just picked up Adam Thielen a couple weeks ago. See who's out there, who's recently got released, and bring in another veteran, because you're going to need a veteran, even if it's just for leadership, these last couple of weeks in the wide receiver room, because wide receiver room, which looks like they may have lost one of their partners in crime and Pat Bryant, you're going to need somebody to come in and fill that hole, and get a veteran, bring in a veteran with experience if there's one out there.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things I was starting to think about this is the points have been starting to pile up against the Denver Broncos defense as of late. And Dan even came in a little bit earlier and says, yep, where was the defense? Was a quote from Vance Joseph later last year where he said, there's nothing new for me to put out there. It's all my cards have been put out there on the table. And there does, I think, become a point where, you've kind of shown who you are now through, what is it, 15 games, 16 weeks, a lot of teams know what you're going to bring. What was surprising at the beginning of the year, the mid-season, play that you had been holding on to until then, that's already out there on tape. I mean, everything is out there, and this Denver Broncos defense feels like at times they've kind of lost their magic. They lost their flow. They need to get it back. They need to get it back in a big way. I think there is a big opportunity on Thursday to get that momentum back versus Now I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be because I heard Gardner Minshew went down with a torn ACL for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know. I didn't even pay attention enough to see you.
It's a rookie from South Dakota State that got put in there. I can't even pronounce his last name on top of my head. I don't know his name, but I know he played at South Dakota State, and it wasn't pretty. They lost to the Titans 26-9. What does that tell you?
Yeah, that's enough said right there, right? But so a big opportunity for the Broncos to bounce back, but I think some big lessons that can be learned from this. And Kenny, I want to get your perspective on this. I mean, Mike, I didn't know if it would be the best thing in the world for the Broncos to go undefeated all the way through the rest of the regular season, riding that high. And like you were saying, maybe getting a little bit full of themselves. I think you kind of alluded to that into this game, thinking they were, thinking a little bit higher themselves than maybe they should have coming into this game versus the Jaguars. Maybe that came back to bite them. But I felt like they needed to be grounded at some point. Maybe this was the perfect game to be grounded. And it might give you a lot of fight if you end up seeing this team one more time.
Exactly, Keith. And I look at it this way. I look at it two ways. Yeah, I want to win every game because you know what? If I'm on a 12-game win streak, I should run through the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. The Tom Brady Patriots went undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl, and the Giants got the best of them in the Super Bowl. But you can go on 15-game win streaks. But if I was to lose a game, this was the game I want to lose because now you can start that win streak all the way to the Super Bowl again, and it'll be what? 6-game win streak, 5-game win streak, 5-game win streak, maybe 5
to 6, depending on where you're seated, right?
Yep. So let's continue that win streak now. You got that one loss out of the way. You know what? Even Sean Payton and the coaching staff may have had, looking ahead. And I don't want to say looking ahead, but taking this team a little lightly because they're already say, Sean in his press conference the other day, 1 seed, we want to get that, come through Denver. Win your games first before you start mentioning that. That could have been bullboard material for the Jaguars. They're taking us lightly. Let's go in there and show them what we're made of. And, they're hot right now. Will they be hot in the playoffs? Who knows? But they're hot right now. And football is a game of momentum. So get the momentum back. I'm 100% certain the Broncos will get it back on Christmas night and start that win streak again. This is the first time in a long time that the Broncos are coming off a loss. But when the Broncos have come off a loss, their last loss, it was a kind of a must-win situation. They went on the win streak. I think Sean Payton, Vance Joseph, they'll get things going on both sides of the ball, and the Broncos are going to be back starting next week, followed by the Chargers heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a tough stretch now, man. It's all on the line. This loss did not help us any, but like Mandy said, coming in and saying rather lose now than in the playoffs. Good point, man. If you're going to get a loss between now and the end of the season, I'll take it now rather than sometime in the playoff run or in the Super Bowl itself. Dan had a question: if Denver wins on Thursday but loses to the Chargers, would the Denver win the AFC West? It's a great question, Dan.
I know that answer.
Oh, you know the answer. Good, man. I was like, yes. I didn't do the mathematics before I got on the air.
If they are tied, now the Chargers lose next week and they're 1 game, that's different. But if it is a tie, Dan, Chargers are unfortunately going to take the division because they beat Denver twice in the season head-to-head.
There you go. So yeah, we need wins and losses.
Playoff atmosphere again, like I was saying. So, Yep.
Wins. We just need wins from here on out.
Yep. And it's funny, it's not funny, but you're 1 seed now. If this scenario happens, Dan, you will be the 7th seed. That's how close this AFC is and can change after every week. So every game's a must win for the Broncos in playoff perspectives because we're talking 1 seeds for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now the Broncos with the Chargers and on the outside looking in, you're looking at the 7th seed if you're the wild card. That's crazy.
It is crazy, man. Need to keep everyone behind us. We didn't help today, man, with the loss on the record. But hey, like we said, lessons learned. I think there's a lot of lessons that can be learned out of this, and from Vance Joseph to Sean Payton to Bo Nix to Riley Moss, there's some lessons to be learned. Now, like I said, on the flip side, on RJ Harvey, love the momentum that we have going with RJ Harvey, and that we've been talking about how we'll need a run game as we go through this playoffs. We cannot be a one-dimensional. We're just not strong enough to be a run-only team, Kenny, and we do still need Bo Nix, and we still need this defense. So they got some work to do in this short week that we have as they play on Christmas versus the Kansas City Chiefs, a less formidable opponent than what we expected when the season first started.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if Andy Reid starts to sit the starters. Travis Kelce, you might not see much of him, and maybe like Rashee Rice. Some of these guys may not play if you got a third string quarterback in, and you're not playing for anything except a win in the win column. They may sit some players on Christmas and give them Christmas off. So Broncos take advantage of it. It's not going to come this late in the season. You don't get many gifts, and this is a gift from Santa. So take advantage of it and bounce back heading into that. Would probably going to be a meaningful, very meaningful in many ways, Week 18 game against the Chargers.
Yeah. It seems like they know how to schedule them sometimes, and that final game should be one heck of a game. Michael Ronquillo, he usually comes in here with stars, but tonight, I don't know if he has given any stars. I haven't seen anything that came through, but he comes through with the best comment of the night. Sean Payton said that wide receiver Pat Bryant has movement in his hands and in his legs, and that's the news that we wanted to hear. Michael, thank you for passing that along, man. We'll continue to send our thoughts and prayers to Pat Bryant, his family, and for a healthy, speedy recovery. Hope that
that's the best Christmas gift you could hear right there. 3 days before Christmas.
No kidding. It's a Christmas miracle, quite honestly. The way things were looking, I think a lot of people were upset, and certainly Bo Nix was taking it very difficultly. As you kind of alluded to before we hit the air, man, it reminded you very much of when Cam Scatterboo went down.
Yes.
And Jackson Dart was visibly upset about that as well. So great news, Michael. Thank you.
Your family. They do. Everybody who's played sports, your family. That's your second family. You're with each other every single day for the season. And you travel, you're doing everything together, from waking up to going to bed. You're doing everything together, so everybody's lifestyle. And when it's a close teammate, it hits you even harder. So I do know how Bo Nix feels. I do know, glad to see this, and I'm sure he'll be getting some visitors and going to see him soon, his teammates and friends and family for sure.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Let's keep praying for Bryant and praise God, says Martin. Yeah. Let's keep that healing happening. And we appreciate all the prayers for Pat Bryant. Kenny, we'll be back. We'll be at Juice, hopefully, is all set up maybe for Tuesday. I know that things are a little bit, you all know this, man. It's Posse. You're out there. It's holiday time. And we're getting right down to it. We have a Thursday football game. We're going to be trying to put some podcasts around that. We have the Juice that we typically do every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Love to see maybe if we can get that going again this week. We usually do a Saturday show, a Wednesday show as well. We do pre and post game. We're just all over the place. Best way, make sure you hit the like button. But Kenny, I love the way that you said this, man. It does not cost a dime. It doesn't cost a penny. It costs a click of the finger, a click of the button. And if you could give us just one like, one wow, one heart right now, it makes a world of difference. And we appreciate it so much. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, if you want to have more Broncos country in here talking Broncos football with you, We appreciate everything that you can do for us, and that's just a small token on your end that can do huge things for us, and we appreciate that a ton. Kenny, some final thoughts around this game, this loss, the lessons learned, and the path forward for the Denver Broncos.
Final thoughts. The most important thing is, like we just said, Pat Bryant's health. He's got his movements. That's the best thing. Like Martin said, praise God. Keep praying for Pat Bryant. That's the most important thing. Second most important thing is everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating Hanukkah. The holidays are here. There are people out there less fortunate than us. Let's pray for them during these times. But everybody out, I'm sure I'll see everybody before New Year on here. But if I don't, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, your family as well, and go Broncos. Christmas night. Not sure if Keith, you'll be doing a post-game show Thursday night. I'll be working.
Very good, my friend. We'll have to get it all rounded up and figure out what we can get done for the fans.
I'm sure you'll be doing something, and I will see everybody soon. Hopefully, I'll be with somebody on Tuesday. I'll be with somebody. Hopefully, Trevor. If not Trevor, I'll have somebody alongside of me for the ride for the juice, and I hope to see everybody there on Tuesday evening. We're going to go not just Broncos, but all around the NFL. So come hang out with me.
And this is the perfect time of year to tap into the juice and check out everything they have going on with all 32 NFL teams, because let's face it, a lot of storylines at this time of the year, teams clinching, teams being, ruled out, seeding in the playoffs. There's a lot going on, and the juice gets you all taken care of, man. 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this Tuesday. Kenny's going to be there. He'll have a guest, maybe a special guest, who knows? But he's going to be out there rocking the juice. Go along for the ride. Talk about your NFL team. Broncos country, you always represent well on the juice, man. We appreciate that a ton, and a lot of posse members over there. Wide receiver Pat Bryant was wheeling out with an oxygen mask. I imagine they're talking about him being in a wheelchair and having an oxygen mask possibly. I don't know. We'll get more updates as it goes, but prayers continue to go up for Pat Bryant. We want him to recover well. Broncos country, I say it. I've been saying it for a few weeks now, man. Go out there, wear your orange and blue with pride. We just went out there. We won a game. It's what we can do. There's no reason to stop wearing your orange and blue. There's no reason not to be proud of this team, man, and the season that they put together. This is a little bit of a, bump in the road, little tree in the trail as we ride down as Broncos down that dusty trail. But it's okay, man. We'll get around it. We'll get over it. We'll get down the trail, and better things are here to come. So I feel it, man. Can't wait for the juice. We'll see what happens around Christmas and the Christmas Day game. Love to do some podcasting around that as well, but just stay tuned. It's a little bit tough with schedules sometime. I want to make sure I have that dialed in before I get anybody excited for what we're going to do. That being said, man, we do got to get out of here. I want you all to have a fantastic Christmas if I don't talk to you before then. I know I'll talk to you before New Year's, but have a fantastic Christmas. Stay safe. Have a wonderful Christmas. Again, thank you, everybody. Appreciate all the love, the support for this channel, this podcast, and all our podcasts. So, and by the way, if you don't mind, check out our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has helped us out for a long time. They've been helping you out with 34 years of Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, and Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Check them out at Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. Or just type in Pearl Heat over on eBay. You can check them out there as well. Really, really love all the support that you guys have shown us and our sponsors throughout the year, as we're just about ready to wrap it up. But we do got to get out of here. Can't wait to talk more Broncos football. Can't wait to talk all 32 teams with Kenny. But we'll get out of here the way we always do. We won't have any of our boots in our holsters, though, this time, Kenny. We're gonna have our boots right there in the stirrups, our guns in the holsters, and of course the Denver Broncos in our heart. Until next time, stay safe. Mile high salute. Y'all take care. And Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then.
Merry Christmas.
Take care, everybody.